Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair?
Today, woo, I've got the style and profile like never before. Woo!
You guys have submitted your questions on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, and today I'm giving you the answers to the questions that you sent in. What's going on, Tech Squad? Andru Edwards here, editor-in-chief of GearLive.com. If this is your first time here, this channel is all about tech, gadgets, and gaming. So if you're into that kind of stuff, feel free to hit the subscribe button down below, along with the bell notification icon so you don't miss any future videos. As I mentioned today, this is a Q&A video. I like to do these every now and then because I get a lot of questions as I interact with you guys on Twitter, on social media, especially on Instagram, and most recently on YouTube in the YouTube community tab. Speaking of which, on YouTube, you can now become a member of the channel. Head to the link in the description below if you want exclusive perks, extras like getting access to our videos a day early before they go live, and even custom badges that'll appear next to your name in the comments. We're gonna kick this off with the questions that were submitted on YouTube. Before we do, I wanna give a big shout out to the sponsor of this video, Unboxed. If you're unaware, Unboxed aims to be the home of the top tech experts and creators on YouTube, where you can see their latest videos, the products they're talking about, and even lists of the top trends in the tech community. More on Unboxed later in the show. First question comes in from Steve Kranick. They're already trolling me. Question one, already getting trolled. Who's the hardest to work with on Superstore? Next question comes in from Jay Malone. He asks, do you fly drones? Looking at the DJI Mavic 2? Actually, Jay, I have received drones in the past for review, and I've actually never gone through the process of reviewing a drone. And the reason why is because there's a little bit of fear in my heart. I know there's a lot of people that have drones, a lot of people fly drones, but I've also seen things go bad with drones. I've seen drones fly out of the air, fall out of the air, land and break, and I just don't, as someone who's inexperienced with drone flying, I don't want to get something like an expensive Mavic 2 Pro or Mavic 2 Zoom, take it out, start flying it, then have it like land in traffic. So I think I'm definitely interested in drones, and I do have those 2 drones coming here to the studio, but I think I need to find someone local who knows what they're doing to give me a couple of pointers before I just go out and start flying them myself. However, leave me a comment down below because I'm curious, if you've bought a drone in the past, did you just take it out of the box, set it up and just start flying it around, or did you get some sort of help before you went through that process? Let me know down in the comments. Romano Grant asks, do you think foldable phones will be a success? Why? I think it's a little too early to say whether foldable phones will be a success or not. I think in order for them to be a success though, they have to provide a couple of things. They have to provide something different than we have today, than the slab of glass that we have today. So unfolding your phone shouldn't just unfold into this form factor, because then the only thing it's doing for you is saving space in your pocket. If you can unfold it in a way that maybe gives you more screen space, but then you can fold it back up and not have any more room taken up in your pocket, for example, that would be good. Then we'd also need some other use case scenario to make the fact that the screen is foldable have some sort of function. It has to actually provide some sort of extra utility that we can't get today. Legendary Man asks, what is the best movie you've seen in 2018? I think I'll go with the Avengers movie. I thought that was a really good one, and it was a long movie, but actually by the end, I didn't realize that much time had passed. I think it's like a 2.5 hour movie, and it kind of just flew by for me. So I'm gonna go with the Avengers Infinity War on that one. CJ Knows Tech asks, what's your strategy for getting in the door with these big brands and what motivates you? So I do work with a lot of big brands. You see a lot of sponsors on my channel. You see a lot of brands having me in their commercials, whether it's on TV or on the web. And I think the main reason is that there is a realness to my content. I'm just me. I am who I am. The way you see me on video here is the way I am when the camera's off. It's the way I am with my friends, the way I am with my family. It's genuine, and I think brands appreciate that. Second of all, I am knowledgeable. I know this stuff like the back of my hand. I've been doing content creation for 14 years full time, but it's also something that I do because I love it, not something that I do because I need a job. So it's not something that anyone's forcing me to do or that I hate doing. I love this stuff, and I think that comes across as well. What motivates me is just performing. I enjoy trying to top myself. I enjoy trying to outdo what I've done in the past, and I enjoy trying to get better. That's really one of the biggest motivators for me. And the other one is quite honestly just the community. The guys and girls that watch these videos, interact with me down in the comments, all the questions. I got so many questions, by the way, that I can't even answer them all in this video. I got enough questions that I can make 4 Q&A videos. If I stuffed them all into one video, this video would end up being like an hour long. So I definitely appreciate the support you guys give out there. And that's actually one of the other motivators for not just me, but a lot of creators out there. Andre Harris asks, Ben Roethlisberger or Russell Wilson? Who are these guys? Are those smartphones? What? I don't know these brands. Jamie Jams, I assume it's Jams, JMZ asks, what skills did you have to work on to build your personal brand? Did you outsource any work out? And how did you manage it? I personally think building your personal brand comes down to one thing. Your brand, whether you're a company or a person, your brand is what people think about you when they hear your name. So if I say the name, for example, Samsung, somebody's gonna come into your mind if you're into tech, even if you're not. Whatever comes into your mind, that's, as far as you're concerned, that's what that brand is. If I say McDonald's, if I say Apple, if I say the name of somebody, if I say Andru Edwards, I have to think and answer for myself, what do I want someone to say or think when they hear my name? If someone were to ask you, if you're a regular viewer of my content, if someone were to ask you, who's Andru Edwards? I heard this guy's name, who is that? Whatever I would want you to say in response to that question, that's what I need to pattern myself after to build my brand. So your brand is really how you want people to envision you and think about you when you come into mind. So the way to do that is to think about who you're talking to, who is the specific person that you want to talk to and approach with your content. And then when I'm talking to the camera, that's the person I'm talking to. I'm not talking to a large group of people. I'm talking to that one person that I envision in my mind is my target audience. Now, obviously building a personal brand, there's a lot to it. That answer could go on for another 20 minutes, but that's at least a start and a glimpse into building a good personal brand. Now let's move on to the Twitter questions. These are the questions submitted on Twitter. Okay, at John Prosser asks, hashtag Ask Andrew, who is your favorite tech news host? John, if you haven't heard of this guy, he's really good. His name is Robert Rosenfeld. He has a great daily tech news show. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. Oh, and why is it me? Oh, sorry, John. At Benjamin TV asks, what is your preferred way to have a steak and what side dish do you eat it with? That's a good question, Benji. If you don't know Benji and Judy, check out their channel. It's Judy's Life, one of the biggest channels on YouTube. If you know them, if you know me, you probably know them. Now, Benji and I are gonna be getting together in a couple months to do a Wagyu steak barbecue at his place. On Twitter, by the way, they do call me the Wagyu guru, so I'm a big fan of Wagyu steak. That's why he's asking. This guy's you trolling me too? People troll me in my own video, but I take my steak medium rare. Side dishes are just, there's a reason they're called side dishes. They're just on the side. The main event is the steak. That's all I worry about. At Jason Nellis asks, why do you hate the term YouTuber so much when it has shown you nothing but love? Now, before we answer that one, let's be sure to thank the sponsor of this video, Unboxed. Unboxed gives you a place on the web to connect with your favorite tech creators. As an example, here you can see my profile, which tells you a little bit about my channel. It shows you the products I've been talking about recently, the newest videos I've published, and it even pulls in my social media content as well. If you love watching tech content, then Unboxed will not only recommend who else you should be watching, but it'll also link you to the hottest products being talked about so you can buy them and support your favorite creators. Head over to unboxed.tv now to check it out. And if you're a creator, get your account set up and claim your place on Unboxed. All right, Jason, I've answered this question many times, but I'm gonna go through it again. I'm not a big fan of the word or the term, or especially the goal, YouTuber. So many people have this in their mind that they wanna be a YouTuber. There's this allure, there's this fascination, and YouTube, quite honestly, is a platform. The definition of a platform is something that you can use to prop something up. You put something on a platform because you want it to be seen. YouTube is a place where you can put something, AKA video content, in order for people to see it. That's what YouTube is, it's a platform. YouTube is not a job. Unless you work at YouTube and get a paycheck from Google for your employment, YouTube is not your job. I see so many creators, you go on LinkedIn and they put their employer as YouTube. But YouTube is not your employer. YouTube isn't employing you to do anything. YouTube is giving you a platform for free to put your content on it. Now, the reason I don't like that term is because I think it's very limiting. If you want to be a YouTuber, that implies that your worth and your content and your value lives on YouTube. So whatever you do on Twitter, doesn't matter. Whatever you do on Facebook, whatever you do on Instagram, all these other places, blogs, all these other places, you're saying those aren't as important. Those don't even matter. It's kind of like what I said about the side dishes of the steak. They don't matter because YouTube is what matters. Whereas with me, I think these things are equal. If I get a view for a video on Facebook or on IGTV or on YouTube, it's still a person watched my content. That's all that matters. To me, if you watch my content, that's success. Not was I able to lure you from Facebook or Instagram or Twitter to click on a link to then come over to YouTube to watch my content. I believe that it's better to go to where people are rather than expecting people to come to you, especially if you have a message to give. It's better for me to go to you if you're on Facebook. It's better for me to go to you if you're on Instagram. It's better for me to go to you if you're on Twitter and share my message with you where you are rather than expecting you to leave the platform where you're comfortably hanging out and engaging to try to get you to watch something else for my benefit in a different place. So that's why I'm not a big fan of the word YouTuber. Roberto Blake asks, what has been your favorite event to attend so far this year? I'm gonna go off of the rolling 12 months because here in 2018, I've gone to so many events, but a lot of them are for brands. And a lot of times I'm doing so much work for brands that I'm not even really attending the event so much as I'm there to just do the job that I'm expected to do. But I will say my favorite event so far in the last rolling 12 months happened last October. That was Vid Summit 2017. I am so much looking forward to Vid Summit 2018 coming up in October as well. If you're not aware, Vid Summit is a place, it's a conference for people who work in the content creation industry. If you're a creator, regardless of the platform that you're on, Vid Summit is the place to be if you make video content. You're there to learn how to grow your business, how to actually turn content creation into a full-time money-making thing, how to talk to sponsors, etc. The speakers are great. The speakers are pretty much everyone who you would know from the YouTube world. The biggest people on the platform are there speaking and sharing tips, hanging out for about a week in LA. It doesn't really get much better than that because the guys that I see there, those are who I consider to be my peers. I work here from home. I don't have coworkers. I don't have an office to go to. So usually those people that I see there, those are who I consider to be my peers. It's good to hang out with them. Modern Dad asks, is there anyone you have not worked with who you would love to? I would say I've worked with pretty much every brand you can think of, from startups all the way up to brands like Apple and Nintendo, which were the two hardest ones to even get in with. The one that I haven't worked with that I am a big fan of is Tesla. I do own currently 2 Tesla Model 3s. I consider them to be more of a technology company than a car company, just my own personal opinion. And that's one company that I'd love to work with in the future. Second half of that question is, who have I worked with in the past that I really enjoyed? Who was my favorite person? I'd say my friend Austin Creed from the Up Up Down Down channel. He also moonlights as Xavier Woods from the WWE. He's currently a WWE tag team champion. That guy is always fun to hang out with and be around. For the Love of Tech asks, at what point did you know that content creating was going to be your life? When was a turning point, if there was one? From an early age, I wanted to be, obviously the word content creator, that phrase was not around. I started out wanting to be a game show host. I wanted to be the host of Double Dare. That was gonna be my job when I grew up. I didn't wanna be an astronaut. I didn't wanna be a police officer. I wanted to host Double Dare or some other game show. A couple years later, it changed and I wanted to become a pro wrestler when I grew up. And I was able to do that. I did that from age 18 to 21. I was a pro wrestler in the New York City area. And then when I moved over to Seattle, there was no pro wrestling scene here, so I needed to do something else. I always loved video. I always loved tech. And eventually I just kind of merged those two things together. And I knew pretty early on, like, this is kind of what I like to do. I love cameras. I love microphones. I love tech. I love an audience. I love sharing. I love interacting. And there's no better job for me than this one that I do. At Guy Beyond Cool asks, what are your thoughts on Xbox as a service? Adopting a mobile-like payment plan, bundling Xboxes Live and Game Pass for consumers to finance. When I first heard about the Microsoft All Access Pass, which is something where you can pay, I believe it's like $25 a month. You get an Xbox One S, you get Xbox Live Gold, and you get a Microsoft Game Pass with a 2-year commitment. So you're paying that $25 over 2 years to eventually pay it off. and at the end you own the Xbox console. I was wondering, like, who would do this? Like, Microsoft has sold millions of Xbox Ones, and you would think if someone wanted one, they would have one by now. Obviously, people are still buying them, but who's missing? Who is this missing link that would rather finance an Xbox over time than just buy one outright? And I wasn't buying the thought that it's people who can't afford one. And I came to the conclusion that I think it's really more for people who are with the competition. So if you own a PS4 or you own a Nintendo Switch, buying a second console is usually cost prohibitive for the majority of people. But if you can get that second console and a Game Pass, which gives you a 100 game library right off the bat, and Xbox Live Gold, so you can play online and get those free games that they give you every month, that actually could be pretty compelling, because the monthly fee for all of that stuff is less than half the cost of a standard PlayStation game. So I think it's smart. It's something Microsoft's testing out. I'm curious if they'll find it to be a success, but I actually am curious about what you guys out there think. Would you be more compelled to buy a game console with a library of games and Xbox Live Gold online pass in exchange for 25 bucks a month, or would you rather just buy the console outright? Let me know in the comments. Asher Tech asks, how do you get started making money on Facebook? Well, people make money in a lot of ways on Facebook. The way I do it is obviously through making content. So a lot of creators don't upload directly to Facebook because they're not able to check a box that says monetize this video. But for me, monetization is more about working with brands and kind of upselling them. So if you want a video that appears on YouTube, this is one price. If you'd also like that video to appear on Facebook, here's an additional fee. And usually they're gonna say yes, they'd like their video to be on Facebook as well. There's 2.2 billion monthly users on Facebook, so that number shouldn't be ignored. So you're able to kind of monetize that way if you're a video content creator. At Pear Crew asks, what upcoming tech innovation in any field has you excited? I would say more than anything else, I'm excited about the thought and idea of autonomous driving, getting into a vehicle, plugging in an address, or having the vehicle know where you need to go based on looking at your calendar and just taking you there without you having to interact with the vehicle at all. You don't have to drive, no steering wheel, no pedals, no brakes. It just does it all for you. I'm very intrigued by that. I know we're quite a ways off. I'd say we're at least 15 to 20 years away from that full self-driving future, but I do think it is coming. Sooner than that, though, we will have advanced AR technology, which I also think is gonna be interesting. AR basically meaning you put a pair of glasses on, or maybe in the far future, a pair of contact lenses in, and it can superimpose things in your field of view. Right now, we're still in the early infancy of that, but I think that technology can do a lot for the world, not just for entertainment, but for practical uses as well. Carrie Waterman asks, what do you like to do for fun? When I have downtime, which isn't that often, you'll typically find me playing Xbox or watching wrestling. So NBA 2K19 just came out at midnight last night. As soon as that happened, I played the game for a couple of hours. I'm a big fan of NBA 2K19. I'm looking forward to Fallout 76 coming in a couple of months, looking forward to the new Red Dead game. So I'm a big fan of using video games as my way of kind of winding down at the end of the day. And if it's not that, then I'm usually, like I said, watching wrestling. I used to be a pro wrestler. A lot of my friends are pro wrestlers on TV. So the two things that I like doing. Tech for Your Needs asks, why not pursue your wrestling career, and what led you to be a content creator? Well, I was pursuing my wrestling career when I lived in New York City. A lot of my friends that were doing it with me, training with me, are today on TV, doing their thing, doing what they love. I moved to Seattle from New York, assuming that the wrestling scene was just as vibrant here as it would be there. That wasn't the case. And so when I moved here, there was nowhere for me to continue training to be a pro wrestler. And there was nowhere for me to get on shows in front of an audience to be a pro wrestler. So I kind of just shelved it and just started living life, doing other stuff. And then eventually started the blog, started doing videos, and just, this is just what I do now. Next question comes in from the mind of Nate. How did you stick with making tech videos for so long? And I'm gonna kind of pair that up with another question from Trusted Texan. What inspires you to create every day? Because I think the answer is gonna be pretty similar to those questions. So how do I stick with this for so long? What inspires me to create every day? The easiest answer to that is I love this stuff. I love what I do, and I love the subject matter of what I do. I'm a big fan of consumer electronics. I'm a big fan of tech. I'm a big fan of futuristic technology. I'm a big fan of video games. And so these things to me don't feel like work. I feel like it's a tremendous blessing that I get to just do this and get a paycheck for it. I get to do what I love. I get to, you know, play with toys for a living and get paid in response for giving my opinion or giving news on these things that I would quite honestly be doing for free or even would pay to get these things because I love it so much. So it's really about the passion that not only keeps me going, but has allowed me to do this for so long. You know, I genuinely love what I do. That's why I've been doing it for 14 years. Last question comes in from Nike629. What's it feel like to be such a big celebrity on YouTube? Have you been noticed in real life in public before, not counting events or anything like that? I have been noticed in public before. The most awkward one was probably at the beach because I'm just like in my swim trunks and someone just comes up to me and they're like, hey, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, people assume because they recognize you that you also recognize them, even if you've never seen them before. Hey, what's up? And they're like, I'm a big fan. I watch you all the time. Just wanted to say what's up. And I'm like, hey, I appreciate that. Another thing is I always feel, I don't know why, but I always have this like feeling of kind of embarrassment or shyness, even though like I'm in front of the camera all the time. I'm in front of the camera in an empty room. So actually seeing people in person is just a little bit of a different feeling. I appreciate it. And if you do see me in public, feel free to say hello. But yeah, so just being at the beach in your swim trunks, saying what's up to people who you don't know, but they know you, is a little odd. I've also been noticed at Apple stores around the country when I'm just going into shop. I've been noticed on the train. The last time I got noticed was outside of the Barclays Center in Brooklyn after an event. You know, everybody's trying to get out of an event at an arena and they have all these crossing guards to try to manage traffic. I'm crossing the street, the crossing guard stops me. I'm thinking I did something wrong. No, the crossing guard just wanted to stop me, tell me they watch me all the time and wanted to ask me advice on the new Samsung Galaxy Note 9. So by the way, if you're watching this video, what's up, crossing guard? I didn't get your name, but I did put you on my Instagram story. There you have it, guys. That was this edition of Ask Andrew, the Q&A. If you have any follow-up questions to anything, drop them in the comments below. I'll meet you there for further discussion. Don't forget to drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and you can also now join the channel as a member to get exclusive perks, early videos, custom badges, and even custom emoji that you can use in the comments and in the chat that other people can't use. If you want to do that, link down in the description below. Don't forget you can click or tap on my face when it appears right at the bottom of the screen in order to subscribe for free to the channel. Thank you so much for watching as always, guys. I appreciate your support. I'm Andru Edwards and I will catch you in the next video.